What happens when 6 of the sharpest minds in luxury real estate walk into one of Spain's most iconic villas? No punchline, just insights, opinions, and maybe a little friendly debate. Welcome to Villa Enso. Hi, I'm Adam Neale, and this is Terra Meridiana Talks. Welcome to Villa Enso, everyone. Thanks for coming. So today we're going to talk about La Zagaleta. So the history, the story, its inception to present day, to the future with the new owners. We're sitting in Villa Enso. I think everyone's described this between insane, crazy.
That's a pretty amazing house.
So it's 3,500 more or less square meters built. It's a monster of a house. It's got lots of toys, as you know. Going back to the beginnings of Zagaleta. So we're going back to 1991 when this consortium of financiers led by Enrique Perez Flores took over the estate of Zagaleta, which was this hunting estate. I believe, Micah, you worked for Enrique.
Yes.
From the beginning. Well, not from the beginning, but...
I started in 1996.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, when you came to Zagaleta then, how many houses were here?
There were about finished houses, about 5. And under construction, it was 2, and then starting 2 new projects and everything.
Because I mean, your brother, Pablo,
Yes.
I know that he said that when he was, well, it's contested whether he built the first house. I don't know. I think he has to go to the title deeds to have a look. He said that he was one of the first 2 houses, and that was in the early 90s.
Can be. He has had a love affair with Zagaleta for as long as I know it.
Yeah, he's built a lot here. Well, he built this house.
Yes.
Yeah, designed. So Enrique, you said when we were speaking earlier in the lounge, you said that he was a lovely man and quite an inspirational guy.
Visionary. And I mean, he had this idea and belief he could do a great, golf and country club. The whole concept of the houses, the privacy, the exclusivity, real meaning of exclusivity and privacy. And he had a vision, and he got into a group of bankers and he created Zagaleta. He was the founder.
Yeah.
And he had all the ideas how to do it. And
so he was driving it.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was the founder, the head, the idea of Zagaleta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the idea was quite radical because it was this huge 900 hectare estate, and yet they were creating a very low density, luxurious.
That was.
It's quite unusual, really.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the office every day till in his 90s, wasn't he?
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, he was.
Wow.
I mean, I remember him in the office when he was 94, 95.
Amazing. So he's one of those guys.
Just non-stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a pretty visionary guy.
And the golf course existed from the beginning, or that came?
No.
So there was just houses?
I mean, to be honest, Zagaleta, they took over in 1989.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the first year of conception.
And starting 1990, getting ready everything, because imagine it has a lot of infrastructure to be built.
Yeah.
And in 1991 was when they started. I think they finished the the clubhouse was there, the golf course. It was under construction, and it was finished in 1992.
The golf course?
Yes, the golf course. The clubhouse, it was
Already
renovated.
existing?
Yeah, the existing one. The equestrian also, they, changed it a bit, but it was the same. Helipad, it was there. And it was a couple of houses too, that they were on site.
Already?
The clubhouse and Casa Chica, yeah.
I mean, if you compare Zagaleta now compared to present day, I mean, and you've got houses like Villa Enso, because I mean, I guess in those days, the houses were 1,000 square meters? It's a completely different market.
The biggest one, no, it was 600, 800.
Wow. So a different lifestyle.
Different lifestyle. They were Andalusian colonial style.
Yeah.
Tobal was one of the architects,
Miguel
and Villarroel, both of them.
Okay.
But the demographics changed so much of the buyers, didn't it? In reality, the buyers now are 20 to 25 years younger than they were when Zagaleta was first conceived.
Yeah, I'd definitely say the ages are getting younger, aren't they?
The average now is 35 to 40 of the buyers here.
But that didn't only happen in Zagaleta, it's happening in Marbella in general.
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
Before, 25 years ago, it was a city for golfers who came here twice a year in the middle 50s, 60s, and now Marbella is home for a lot of late 30s, even middle 40s people with children. They come here to live all year round. So it's not only happening at Zagaleta, but at general level in Marbella.
Immaculada, you're dealing with high net worth individuals.
I do.
You do, from a tax basis. So you're a very good person to know. Have you seen an age difference? Are your clients getting younger?
Definitely. Okay. Yes, definitely. And this is basically because of how the world has changed in the last 10 years, or even from COVID to date.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up, COVID.
The teleworking, the new technologies has opened wide alternatives for living either in Spain or either in any other country, so you are not dependent on your job to move.
Yeah.
So for people who can afford living in the country they want to, is easy.
Yeah.
Easy. More easy to move nowadays than
before.
Than 10 years before.
But I think that that market in Marbella has changed in general. But in Zagaleta, it's been a very radical change because it was very elderly.
Yeah.
Whereas Marbella wasn't full of old people. I mean, it was a wide demographic. But the demographic here was elderly, wasn't it? It had a reputation for that. Yeah. But it really has radically changed in the last 10 years. You've brought in young money and they want privacy, exclusivity and security.
In that time, I think who could afford to have this type of quality of life.
You're right.
And they were older people, but it changed completely.
Yeah.
Now it's more younger people. They get, with 20, 25.
Yeah, because the businesses has changed completely.
Yeah.
So nowadays
the houses too.
Nowadays you see people in his 20s with a lot of money doing businesses in many countries and raising a lot of money. And they like to invest in estate, in real estate. They like to invest.
Bricks and mortar.
They like, yeah.
Yeah.
I know some young people now in the Marbella area. Yeah. One of them has a property here in La Zagaleta, and they like to invest in real estate.
So it's like not just a lifestyle. It's now it's an asset.
Yeah.
That produces income, or maybe I don't know.
No, or just
they pass on to their children.
Yeah. Or to enjoy.
Yeah.
Or to enjoy. Because they don't, I think they don't see this as a tie, as a real tie, because they move on a different world. I mean, they like to live here, they buy a place here for a living to enjoy, and if they decide to move anywhere else, they just sell it, and they don't really have that tie.
Emotional. You mean emotional?
Yeah, emotional, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Different type of buyers.
Yeah. Yes, very, very different.
People actually live here.
How many?
Out of all the residents that are here.
I
would percentage.
say it changed completely.
That's changed a lot as well.
From September until May, most of them, they like to live all year round. Mm. And now in summertime, it's quieter. It comes for holidays and, British especially, they come for holidays.
So you think more people are living here than before? Before it was a holiday home? Yeah, there's lots of families here now.
Yeah.
It was more quiet inside the estate before. Now it's more action, more life.
Yeah, lifestyle and
And there's people that come here as well, buy a home, and they do business here too. They buy a plot, develop a house.
Yeah.
You have clients like that as well.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
That make something out of it, you know?
So do you think, like, this house, for example, would be the sort of thing that going forward is going to become a norm? Because this is an enormous house. I mean, it seems that in Zagaleta, they're building bigger and bigger houses.
Yes.
Aren't they? I mean,
this house is for the kind of profile of client that you were describing, you know. For young people, they like big houses, a lot of toys, a lot of things to enjoy. And I can see here young people living in this house.
I do think that more and more over the years, the houses are bigger and bigger. I started in the estate 2008, and if we start to see now these 2,000 square meters plus houses, whereas before, let's say 15, 20 years ago, it was just some exceptions, you know. Yeah. But now it's, you see this type of house regularly, and
it's the new
developers are focused on this sort of houses. Now we have to see if the market responds, and if we have enough buyers just to fulfill this demand.
Yeah, no, it's true.
But this is more than 3,000.
Yeah, this is bigger than 3,000.
Yeah, this is huge.
Yeah. So compared to what you were saying, 800 square meters, you know.
You can't really compare from the houses that were built in the beginning to now.
No.
It's completely, opposite.
I think Marbella's always attracted the 1% of the population. Yeah, it has always had, if you look at all the life cycle of Marbella, every time the market drops, the richest one in the world comes here. If it's the Russians, the Arabs, it's always like in New York. New York never falls too long. There's always someone that wants to get a deal. And Marbella has that same trajectory. And I always said Marbella has the potential to attract the 1% of the population that has no limitations in money. Yeah, and that 1% is 80 million. Yeah, but now you can, now in Marbella area, you come down to La Zagaleta to a few projects in the Marbella area where you go to the 30,000 euros a meter up. You're talking about the 1% of the 1%. But 1% of 1% is still 800,000 people that have a lot of money and that are not old money, it's new money. Therefore, new money is mobile. And after COVID, new money wants space because everyone who had a beautiful penthouse in Barrio Salamanca with a little terrace of 1 meter said, never again.
Never again.
I'm going to be caught in that
it was a
you're
radical change.
Here you can spend after 2 years of COVID.
Yeah.
And you don't even notice. And the fact that you can work from home.
It's really true, yeah.
That was such a game changer that made Marbella even more hot.
I've been talking the other day to Charlie Simon, the photographer. And he has a lot of experience in Dubai, Switzerland, and States as well. And he told me what makes Zagaleta different is the privacy, because there's no such place in Europe where the minimum plot is 30,000 square meters, which is 3,000, right?
Yeah, that's the minimum.
So this is, I think, is the only place in Europe where the minimum plot is 3,000 square meters. So here you have the weather, of course, and the prestige, the helipad, that's fine. But here the privacy is much better than anywhere else in Europe.
So, Mariano, I'm going to pick on you. If you had a buyer that came to Marbella, they didn't know Zagaleta, why would you bring them to Zagaleta?
Obviously, that depends on the type of buyer that you have, right? So once that you sense that the type of buyer is the Zagaleta buyer,
But what is the Zagaleta buyer?
That's the point. It's what is a Zagaleta buyer? To start with, he's somebody who's not very keen on, I want to be close to everywhere, to Puente Romano and to party. And so once that you identify that the client is not that type of person and is more like that they give more importance to things like, again, security, privacy, and stuff like that. Yeah. And that they are looking for some sort of quality, or how can I describe, perhaps like a different lifestyle, right? then it's really easy to convince them to buy here in Zagaleta. I was lucky enough to sell many properties here before I became the director, but it was really easy to convince them. Once you bring them in here, they see the security, the views from many plots.
It is the concept.
Exactly.
What they fall in love with.
Yeah. So once, again, you identify that type of client who's a Zagaleta buyer, then it's too easy to sell them here.
Like me, I've sold many properties and plots here, but I've never sold a single property or plot in Madronell.
Yeah, it's funny.
I drive up the Ronda Road.
Well, it's a big difference.
It's a different market.
It's a massive difference. And why would you sell your clients in Madronell when you can sell them in here?
And it's funny because Zagaleta, I think it's a brand
different clients,
which is very well known at European level. You know, so many times when I've got a client from Switzerland or Germany, or they already know La Zagaleta. It's a brand which is very well known, you know, everywhere. So. From that point on, it's our job to sell them Zagaleta is very easy, as they already come here knowing what La Zagaleta is or what La Zagaleta means.
But sometimes you come to Zagaleta and you don't find the right house.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, because I mean, it's a limited stock. We've got 250, 60 houses, but we've got 150 plots to sell.
Then, you know, the first house I sold in La Zagaleta, I think I told Gary the story recently. It was 2008 or 9, and I've been working with a client. It was in the middle of the crisis, and I've been showing to this Belgian client many houses for like a year, and he wanted to buy the first house built by Diego Tobal here at Zagaleta. And after like a year and dealing with Mike and Ignacio, he phoned me and said, okay, I'm going to raise my offer, I'm going to buy the house. So I was very happy, my first house at Zagaleta, so I called Micah. And she was like, no, it's gone. I sold it last week. And I was, really?
Terrible. Probably
what
8
do I do
months
now? And shame on you, Micah. And but because he wanted really southwest with the Gibraltar view. So
that was
I had a meeting with the seller to talk about some other projects. And when I came into his house, this is the house for my client. And I said, is the house for sale? And he said, no. And I said, well, from now on it is. No, Mariano, I don't want to sell. Just put the price. I've got a client. That was my first house in Zagaleta. So I think now we are going through the same process. Like whenever a client doesn't find the house that they're looking for, you just want to identify like a house, old house, who can be perhaps renovated, and go through that process. That's what I've done. I introduced Diego and
build.
Yeah, exactly.
Or build, but they are not. Yeah. I mean, knocked down the old one and built on that.
Yeah.
But there's many houses knocked down now, isn't there? When
that was post-COVID.
All those old houses.
Post-COVID has been that type of...
I mean, are there any houses left to knock down? It's terrible, really, isn't it? But I mean...
there's
Still quite a few. So I mean, you need someone like Chris.
Owners from the beginning.
You need someone like Chris, though, when you knock down a house to build it, no?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. We sold the house last year in Sector D, double plot, and we introduced Chris actually to do the report and perhaps the renovation. So that's what we do actually. We introduce the good professionals we know.
So let's say you find a plot, if you can find one, and
or you find an old house.
Or you find an old house, you knock it down. What else do you need to consider when you're going to build a house here? Because I mean, some of these plots are quite steep.
Well, you've seen the walls that get built here, haven't you?
Yeah.
And what it does, it just creates the platform then onto which.
But some of them are like 2 or 3 million euros to build these.
No, they're not that much.
Not that much?
No.
Well, they're quite expensive though, aren't they?
Well, they might be 750, but I don't think they'll get to 1 million.
Okay.
Yeah, on our project it was 500, just over 500.
Okay. So it's not too much.
It depends on the ground engineering underneath them, because you have to do the soil tests.
Yeah.
Because you're putting an awful lot of weight on the ground. And there's one particular one that we did, we had to pile it and put a reinforced concrete slab underneath the wall. Because the weight of the earth just pushes down.
Yeah.
And the cubic metre of water is a tonne. And you can imagine if you've got a wall that's 16, I think the biggest one we do is 116 metres long and 16 metres high.
Wow.
So there's a lot of weight.
And build costs. So, I mean, if you buy a plot, what's the sort of average square metre price for a plot these days with sea views?
Nowadays, probably know better than anybody else.
By the south gate, you're looking at 1,000 plus. 1,000 to 1,200, and
Yeah, more. I would say
north
more.
gate, in the sector Air4G, you're looking at maybe 500, 450, 500.
Yeah. For what?
For a plot.
Square meter. I thought you were talking about building.
No, construction.
Just the
construction.
plot.
Just the plot. Just the plot.
Just the plot.
I would say between 400 and 1,200.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're looking at, let's say you've got a 5,000 square meter plot on average, it's going to be 5 million-ish.
If it's Southgate, A sector,
yeah, but it also depends on what a platform you can put on it as well.
Yeah.
But if
Because if you've got 5,000 square metres like that, what platform can you put on it?
Yeah.
Do you want a garden? Do you want a garden or don't you want a garden? There's some houses here that have no garden, they're just built on the mountainside.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they got an amazing view and they're near the South Gate, so they'll still create a big end value.
I mean, where we are in H sector, I think the prices here are going much higher than that now, aren't they, for plots? You're going up to nearly
Well, the one
1,500, 2,000.
H15.
Yeah.
H15 has been sold already.
Yeah,
right?
that was sold for 5.5 million about a year ago.
So what does that break down to?
1,000 a metre.
1,000, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
But I think prices went up.
they've gone up, yeah.
And there are nothing left in this sector.
No. So you've got 5 million plot and then
5,000 square
sorry,
metre.
5,000, but for 5 million. How much is it going to cost to build a 2,000
Depends
square
how,
metre villa?
2,000 square metre villa. I don't know, probably 8 million.
Put you on the spot, 8 million. Okay. So you're into
That's very
13.
optimistic, I think.
Sorry?
That's very optimistic. I brought a client. I'm not going to name the architect, but I brought a client to an architect's office, and
His initials were DT. Probably.
Yeah, don't mention. But he was told that luxury Zagaleta costs approximately between 6,000 euros per square meter, 6,000 to 7,000 euros per square meter, which I found it really expensive, actually.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think that for 4,000 euros per square meter you can build luxury. Well, you're building a villa here. You can tell us.
3,500. That's coming in at, but that was a construction quotation 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
At least 10,
I would say
20% more.
4,500
It's about right.
is a
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you've got
Depends how much preparatory work you've got to do on the site as well. So if you're just talking about pure construction costs for the house, then you probably are talking 4,000 because you've got to add on swimming pools, gardens and everything else on top of it.
Yeah.
What do you think
Quality
about
and all
the
that.
costs? Because
Yeah.
you must be very involved.
Well,
Of
you're in
course.
charge of Palo Alto, so I mean, you must know costs.
The cost, it's always for me difficult with the meters because people just report any meters. Yeah, the construction company has one way of calculating meters. The salespeople and the owner, they're all different meters. So if you're talking about built meters, is that include underground terraces, covered terraces, not. So at the end of the day, you're
Yeah, but it's all the external works as well that go into it.
and exactly,
Groundworks.
and then the external works, and then how detailed is the internal? Does that include the marble, specialty marble,
How much
specialty
wood
details?
is there? The wood is very expensive.
Rooms fully out of wood, so that number can fluctuate between
Exactly,
the
depends.
3,500 and the 7,000
Yeah,
easily.
depends on
depending what you
that,
include.
on the
I mean, if
finishing.
you report the 3,000 and don't have all the other details, then you're being ripped off. But
Yeah.
if you have all a house of this quality with perfect detailing, then you get to the 7,000.
Yeah,
I
you
think
get that.
If you have a
that
lot of
amount.
wood, a lot of
Sure.
top marbles,
It's so
a lot
easy
of
to add a couple thousand.
high installations, you'll go to maybe 5,000 or 6,000 at least.
Today, house has water heated floors. The bathrooms are, with a lot of electronics.
Domotic system.
Yeah,
cost you.
Yeah, the wash led this, and then the kitchens you can spend. However
It's
much
the
you want.
finishes that cost.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So the same base. Yeah. So I mean, okay. So you've got your plot, you've got your build costs. What about taxes, Immaculada? You've got to pay taxes now.
I'll sit back now.
Of course.
Unfortunately.
Yes, sure. Well, you need to. First thing I always, when I talk to a client, I always ask, do you want the property for what? Are you going to use the property for your personal use? Are you going to do businesses with the property? What are you going to do first? Second, where are you going to live? Are you going to live in Spain? Are you going to live where? Because it's not the same someone who lives in France or in Italy, or Switzerland, for example, or someone who lives in Cyprus, Malta. It's not the same.
Yeah.
Because some countries have more protection than others, okay? Even within the EU, okay? So this is the second point. And the third point is you need to consider not only the taxes you will pay when you purchase the property, but the cost of maintenance, because that's very important.
Yeah, that can be big.
Very important.
Yeah.
So people normally, and most of the time, people buy property through corporate structures. The beginning, it was to avoid wealth tax, okay? But 2 years ago, the government changed the legislation, so people who owns properties in Spain through corporate structures are also liable to pay wealth tax in Spain. So most of the time, what we do are exercise between different alternatives, because some has advantages in some taxes and others has advantages in saving costs.
Maintenance costs.
Yeah, maintenance costs.
Okay. So like company
having a corporate
structures.
structure, you need to maintain that corporate structure.
Yeah.
You need to
File
fix
accounts.
a rental income for the company. You need to keep accounting. You need to file corporation tax. You need to keep transfer pricing documentation to basically document that you are paying a market rental for the use of the property.
Yeah.
So you have many compliance work to do with the corporate structure, but you can also take advantage of the corporate structure to save some taxes. For example, wealth tax, if you manage to structure well how you purchase or how you do the purchase structure, how you finance and everything.
Yeah.
So this is very important. And also VAT is an issue when you buy a first-hand property. Normally it's an issue. And now we have the government saying that they're going to impose 100% transfer tax on second-hand properties to non-EU residents, which is something that it will never happen. And if it happens, the EU will for sure cut down that, because it's against the EU regulations.
Yeah.
Even if we're talking about people residing in the States or in any other country out of the EU.
I mean, if we took that as a vote, it'd be quite interesting. Who thinks it could happen? 100% tax in Spain. Does anyone?
I don't think it will ever happen.
But clients do.
Yeah, of course. There's a fear factor.
Clients do.
Yeah.
Because they're scared of the press.
Sometimes you asked me 6 months ago about the amnesty. I would have said, no, come on, it's ridiculous. But look where we are.
I mean, right now, I don't think we don't even know what is going to happen.
What happened? Yeah.
If we continue with the carriage that we have right now, anything can happen.
I remember what happened with you remember 2 years ago or 3 years ago, the Andalusian government, they took off the wealth tax.
Yeah.
They provide 100% relief on wealth tax, so nobody was liable to pay wealth tax.
It was fantastic for the market.
And how long it
6 months it lasted,
no, 1 or 2 months.
Yeah, and then they put the solidarity
Then the
tax.
government introduced solidarity tax in 2 months.
Yeah.
And we, as experts and as a tax lawyer, when they introduced that, I thought, wow, this is unconstitutional. I mean, this is going to be cut off by the Constitutional Court.
Yeah,
but the government also managed to approve that, because the Constitutional Court, they rule in favor of that tax.
Wow.
So at the end of the day, we're living with that.
I mean, the big advantage we have is that we're in Europe. So I think you're right. Even if they are crazy enough to do this tax, then the EU, it's against the spirit of the EU. I mean, it's
against
the non-equal treatment of individuals, isn't it? I mean, so they can't do that.
You're putting barriers to the freedom of movement of the capital.
Yeah,
You cannot put barriers to the investment of non-EU people in the EU.
Yeah. If you look at Zagaleta, we've got heliport, equestrian centre, 2 golf courses. Gary wants to get rid of one. Mariano agrees. 2 clubhouses, so we get rid of one of those.
It's okay to have
tennis
2
courts.
clubhouses. That's no problem. There's a good restaurant there.
True, yeah. Tennis courts. What else we got?
Well, you have a beautiful
can go
wildlife
walking
park.
and,
You
yeah,
have the
a lot of wildlife.
walking and
What's
it's beautiful.
What's missing?
I think in Sector J, really, it should be more within the nature, because that area, you don't have many plots. You don't have any sea views or open views.
Yeah.
You are more into a valley in some of them.
Yeah.
So I think it has to be thought something
Lake
different.
view, like I
lake
said.
views. But you have the lake, but make it bigger. I wouldn't get rid of the second golf course. I think that is a plus.
Yeah.
And,
It costs a lot of money.
But you're not a
Yes.
golfer, Micah, are you? I'm not a golfer, but Gary's a golfer.
Yes, I am.
Are you a golfer?
No, I don't play because for me it's boring. But my husband. But I know that most of the people who bought here, who came and everything, they love golf.
Yeah.
And they love to have that, and it's built. I mean, why
You
to
could
get
still
rid
keep
of?
some of the golf.
Yeah, of course.
You don't
I
need an
wouldn't get-
18-hole golf course
You've
there.
got it
You
into
could
that
have a
golf
good
course.
practice facility. You could have a good
Yeah.
driving range. You could have a good,
Okay.
nice kids area
we've-
or
we've
whatever.
got golf.
But a good lake.
Yes.
But what's missing? Is there anything that Zagaleta should have? I mean, we're
they
talking to
should
the new
have
owners.
a beach club.
But in Zagaleta?
No, outside Zagaleta.
At the beach.
Yes.
Beach
They did it in
club
Soto
only
Grande,
for
didn't they?
owners.
Well, we were well, I say we. It was for a long time thinking to have a beach club, and never happened. But
A real beach club.
a real beach club.
Only for
yeah.
members.
Only for
Okay,
members.
okay.
And I
That's
think-
what Finca Quarters Inn have done.
Yeah.
Sorry?
That's what Finca Quarters Inn have done.
I
Yes.
think that they've acquired land, haven't they?
No, they are in negotiation with the.
Yeah, they have.
with
They
the
had.
Opel, no, they have it with the Opel family in El
Yeah,
Presidente.
in Benamara.
In Presidente.
Exactly, but never happened.
No, but they are.
Yeah, they've been for years.
Yeah, but because they didn't have the money, now they have it.
Yes,
So
that's
that-
what I
now it's
say,
gonna
that
happen.
I see a lot of
Yeah, yeah.
potential with the
So
new
that's
owners.
something that's missing. You know, you need to have a beach club. You need to have, and they need to have drone taxis that take you to the airport. You know, not the helicopter. The helicopter is too loud. You
It's
know,
like
but
Blade Runner.
like little, but it's happening, and it's
Got them
the
in Dubai.
perfect- Huh?
They've got them in Dubai.
You have one already?
No, they've got them in Dubai.
In Dubai, yeah, that's and in China everywhere. Last week they announced like a ton of them, new ones, all over China. So I think this is one of the locations where you have this taxi to the airport, which is very elegant, or even one that takes you to Puerto Banús and takes you back, because here you can, and it's not doesn't make noise because the helicopter, it's a kind of a
Yeah. It's noisy.
yeah, it's a party killer, no? When it's not you, you know?
Yeah. But I think you've got a lot of families here. You've got a lot of younger people coming in. I think what you said, I think if they could bring more, I don't know, nature pursuits into here, like more walking or, I mean, they've got a lot of land here still.
They have it,
a lot
but
of nature.
you know, you have to promote and do those things.
Yeah.
Within the nature, the horses and
Something they can do, talking about young people and stuff like that. I don't know if you know Epic in Golden Mile. They have a sports center, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I think
that,
that's
isn't
one
it?
of the things Zagaleta is missing, like a proper professional gym with like perhaps like it's fantastic, like the level of infrastructure they're
That's
doing
true.
there. Perhaps that's
because
what we are
historically
missing here.
the clientele has been a bit older.
Exactly.
But now
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
changed.
But now the youngest
and the
ones
youngest
have.
they want.
For
And I
social
understand
life,
most
yeah.
of the houses have their own gym, like
Yeah,
this
they
one,
do,
for
they
example.
do.
But even
Yeah.
though to have like a proper place to
Yeah.
train and
and a clinic for longevity, because you know Cortesin is brought in.
Have they done that?
Yes, they
Wow.
brought in the competitors of Buchinger.
Oh,
Langshof
wow. Really?
is building a huge clinic.
Amazing.
That's
a
good,
idea,
that's
isn't it?
good.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
spending a lot of money.
I
and
think,
longevity
yeah.
is what people want. You know,
Yeah.
you want to
Amazing.
enjoy life and get younger.
If I'm not qualified to answer this question at all, because the last time I was in Dubai was 1986. Comparing lifestyle in Zagaleta with Dubai, or?
There in Dubai, you go from extremely hot to impossible hot.
Yeah.
Those are the two levels, right? I think here the weather is much more.
This is 12 months of the year. There they have only 6 months. 6 months in the winter is doable.
And but it is true that Dubai has many things that Marbella or Zagaleta doesn't, in terms of the amount of, for example, just top restaurants or top whatever entertainment.
If you want to spend money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's a completely different atmosphere there.
It's different. Yes,
it's a different spot. I think Dubai is competing more like with places like Miami, for example, than with Zagaleta.
Different market. You go there for taxes to create businesses.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the opposite. Complete opposite of Zagaleta. That's what you were trying to say, no?
Yeah.
That they're similar and that they're not.
Yeah. So we're 35 years of Zagaleta next year. You can still see 35 years ahead that Zagaleta is going to be here, going to be growing.
If they do it right, yes.
Yeah. If they keep the spirit of the founding father.
Although I do think that it has to be supported by the local authorities. Like Marbella has to improve its infrastructures, because, for example, things like traffic and stuff like that is really poor.
Yeah, Marbella is not doing too good.
It's starting to become a problem for many people.
Yeah.
And now we are lucky that the road is cut, but traffic is just chaos here. If they don't start to improve the infrastructures, that might scare off
a lot of people.
Many of the buyers in the near future.
But how many population is declaring in Marbella?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also a problem as well.
We complained about how infrastructure and everything is kept, but then we have Marbella with much more population than those,
registered.
Than registered.
Yes. Yeah.
So there's a problem, because the city council can do what they can do, considering the population is, I don't know, 200,000, 300,000, but we are close to 1 million.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is it really that different?
In summer, it must be 1 million. Yeah.
Well, but I'm not talking about summer. I'm talking about almost every
in general.
But it used to be a few years ago. It used to be 3 months. Nowadays
it's all year round. All year round.
January.
It's 11 months.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, but to clean and to have.
I totally agree.
I mean, it's not clean. The beach, you go to the beach and they're not clean. They don't do anything about that, and they could do that. I can see them running around with the. I get really irritated.
But they're doing. I mean, we're doing the desalinating plant. The airport is 36 million. We have the longest beach boulevard.
Yeah, all these things are very good.
Many
but
things are coming better.
Yeah,
many things are coming
always
better.
Slower than we would like to.
Yeah.
But it's coming.
But you mentioned Sierra Blanca. Access to Sierra Blanca is awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, awful.
Yeah.
Sierra Blanca might be nice, but you've got to get to Sierra Blanca first.
I mean, I look at it as urban organic development. It wasn't a planned city. It was an organically grown city. So, there's always going to be these discrepancies in town planning.
Yeah, but the problem
they
is
never had an opportunity.
Some of the roads are far too small.
Yeah.
You've got buses and lorries and the jams you get on the back roads.
But they didn't plan Sierra Blanca, Chris. Nagueles was planned, and then Sierra Blanca was an organic growth. But you have to go through Nagueles to get to Sierra Blanca.
Well, there's the problem.
That's why they were lucky in Zagaleta, because it was grown from the beginning.
It's a gated community. You have a jewel.
Again to the gate
of everywhere else.
Yeah. But I want to thank everyone for coming. And it was a very interesting discussion. We solved a lot of problems. World peace, future of Zagaleta. So thanks everyone for coming. It's great. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank
Adam.
you.
Thank you.
No worries.